Morning, you guys. I started to film this in the living room and there's still no furniture in there, and oh my goodness, my voice just echoed like crazy. It is still echoing, so you'll just have to bear with me on that one for a little while longer. But, I'm making progress and getting more and more excited all the time. It seems like almost overnight fall started to creep in. We'd had hot days and hot nights and air conditioner going and all that. And then all of a sudden one morning I woke up and stepped outside and it was like, wow, this feels like fall. I just couldn't believe it. It actually makes me pretty excited. I'm usually a summer loving type person, but fall time is always kind of the, that it's just like the clocks are changing. Everything, is changing, and we're moving forward in time and marching into, the last part of the year. But right now, the mornings and the evenings are very fallish, and I'm loving that. Okay, so there has been, one of the things that has been so great lately has been that we got some rain, and oh my goodness, we needed the rain so badly. And so it brought a lot of relief to several of fires that had been burning in the forest area not far from us. Well, I say not far from us. I mean, it's in our county, but our county is mostly national forest, so it's a ways away. It wasn't like it was a threat or anything, but these fires were burning, and it was, it's a scary time of year, especially when you're surrounded by all kinds of forest land. We did have one scare, probably about a mile away, I think probably not even 2 miles away as the crow flies. There was a fire that started. And the only reason that we knew is that all of a sudden flying overhead were all these pontoon planes, water planes that they used to put out fires. And they just were coming round and round and round. It must have gone on for 2 hours. I immediately jumped on my Facebook groups that are local and the fire watch groups and things like that. And yes, there was a fire. So that was, we weren't sure there for a while. Plus I got a call from the county because I'm on the notification list in case there would be evacuations or anything like that. And they said there were no evacuations at that time, but just letting us all know that there was a fire going on. With the diligence of the airplanes dumping water on it and the fact that ground crews could reach the fire, they were able to put it out. It took them about maybe 3-4 hours or something, but they were able to put it back. Anyway, we were kind of sitting on pins and needles for those 3 or 4 hours wondering, do we start loading things up, all the important documents and papers, or do we just wait and see? But we just kind of waited and everything turned out. So to have a nice afternoon, it was like late morning all the way into afternoon, it just rained and rained and rained. Maybe we got 3/4 of an inch, I don't know, but it was enough to dampen all of the wildfire concerns, at least for a while. And since then, it's been overcast and not too hot, and so it means we're slowly moving out of the wildfire season. I've been making progress on my house, and it's really kind of been fun as September has kind of ushered in the new season with fall. I feel like it's just the perfect time for me to experience a new season. It's been a while since I've lived, in the main area of my house, and it's kind of just like a fresh start, a new start, and a new season. We are once again completely empty nesters. I've always called myself an empty nester just simply because I'm not responsible for the grandkids that lived here. That was my daughter's responsibility, and we could come and go as we needed. And so we, it wasn't completely an empty nest situation, but it wasn't my responsibility either. So in that aspect, I still call myself an empty nester, but now it has gotten so quiet in the house, and we are just like, wow, this is really, very strange. The one thing that I have really found as I've been cleaning through each room and working on each room is memories. Oh my goodness, I've lived in this house for 27 years, and that's a lot of memories. My oldest son was about 13 when we moved in, and my youngest had not even been born yet. And so it's been, many years, and lots of children and lots of activity. As the school kids, I noticed we're starting school here locally, and my daughter's getting ready to, she homeschools, so she's getting ready for her kids. It just, I thought of all the years of pulling out the books and the excitement of the first day of school and all those years. And it's just been kind of interesting to clean through the house and just reflect on so many good and wonderful memories over the years. Our house was built in 1927, and so it is a very old house. And when we bought it, it was definitely a fixer-upper, no doubt about it. There was a lot of things that needed to be done, a lot of things that were big. It needed a brand new roof. It needed a big hole in the sunroom and a leak repaired. It needed just a lot of big things. And so my husband, of course, focused on those things immediately when we moved in. And over time, other projects have been done. As it goes in life, a lot of projects get started and they don't get finished, or it takes a period of several years to finish. And that is definitely the case with our house. My husband worked, of course, a full-time job, commuted almost 2 hours a day, had 8 kids, family life. We had rentals over the years, and so sometimes house projects just ended up being kind of hit and miss. Maybe we would get to it, maybe we wouldn't. It was just a matter of, waiting until he had the time. And so, as I'm showing things around my house, you're going to see a lot of either old things, or you're going to see a lot of unfinished things. The trim around my living room windows and my sunroom windows has not been finished. That was a project several years ago. Everything is on the list to do. So we just, live and enjoy the home and take care of it as the time comes. Now that he's retired, hopefully this will give us some more time to work on some of these projects. Right now, my husband's biggest project is bringing in firewood, so he's been busy doing that, and we have maybe a third. And we need 6 cords typically to get us through the winter. And so right now we have about 2, he figures, as well, of course, as getting the rest of us, our stuff moved in. So I'm technically still waiting for my daughter to get some of their stuff. So they have things in storage areas on the property and in the garage and in the shop building, my husband's shop building. So they're still trying to make a place for those things at their home, and then slowly start moving those up. And there's a few things still left here in the house. And so my goal is to just, slowly start inching my way in, but wait until they have officially gotten everything out. And they were working on that this weekend. They had some help and a couple pickups, and so they were taking out more stuff, and they're getting there. Slowly but surely, and that is kind of my thought too, is that's okay, one step at a time. Before I go to my storage, and start bringing everything home, I'm just waiting until they are out and I feel like I have more space and more time to do that. In the meantime, I'm digging up curtains and cleaning and taking care of all these things. Old homes certainly have their charm, and that is the case with ours, but they also come with just a lot of things that usually need to be done. A house built in 1927 has had, seen a lot of days and seen a lot of wear and tear. My husband did replace the kitchen about 4 years after I think we moved in, which was great. My original kitchen had been plywood cupboards. I don't know, it was somebody's economical build, I guess, but were plywood covers and countertops of different heights, and it was just crazy. But he was able to gut that whole thing out and give us a brand new kitchen, so that was a blessing. And that kitchen's still serving me quite well even today. Also, I think the last time that this house had actually had any kind of updating was probably the 70s. My bathtub, which is a very odd little square bathtub in there, is that avocado green, and so are the sinks. So again, one of those fixer-upper projects, we had always wanted to replace the bathroom. And at the time, it was the only bathroom, so, and when you have 8 kids, how do you do that? so the bathroom never got replaced. So again, that's on our list of things to rehab. Honestly, I see enough projects that will last us for the next 5 years at least. One of the projects that I'd mentioned in a previous video was putting new flooring down in my laundry room and doing a revamp of the laundry room. I have since decided to wait on that again because my husband needs to get firewood in, and I didn't want my washer and dryer sitting in the dining room while we waited for that to happen. So I just kind of cleaned it up and cleaned up that room, and my husband moved them in there. They're not hooked up yet, but he just moved them in there so we can start getting everything in its place. Right now, I am going to just keep plugging away at all these little things that I'm trying to finish. I need to get my floors mopped in the living room and the dining room, and just keep washing windows and taking care of things. I think that's probably the end of this video. I'm going to wrap this up and just my little check-in to share my progress and to welcome fall in. And I hope wherever you are that you are seeing some sign of fall at least. I know like my daughter down in Arizona and even the ones in California are not seeing any signs of fall yet, but we see it here in the Northwest maybe a little bit sooner than the farther south. I hope you guys all have an awesome and blessed day, and I will see you guys